It's one of those phrases that bounces off the consumer ear with ease, many times with no real explanation what it all means on a street level. But the strong American dollar remains something businesses yearn for. But when it comes to your consumer dollars and the actual economic recovery, it might not be exactly what anyone wants, or maybe what some people need. Our guest is Senior Fellow for Economic Studies at the Brookings Institution, formerly Director of the President's Council on Wage and Price Stability. Let's welcome Barry Bosworth to MidPoint. Barry, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Barry, it's kind of tough to hear people talk about a stronger U.S. dollar and there being winners and losers, because you would think that if the dollar is strong, how could there possibly be any losers in here?
Well, it is a reflection of a strong economy. I agree with that. But if you're an exporter, it's not good news.
Give us a little bit of an insight into that, because the consumer is always thinking about, wait a minute, strong dollar must be good for me. But when you talk about export, when you talk about all these other dollars and where they go from A to Z, how does that all figure into where it filters down to the person in the stores?
Well, the exchange rate is the basic determinant of how much, if you're an American, how much it costs to buy something in a foreign currency. So if you're a consumer and you would like to travel to Europe on vacation, you can get a lot of euros right now for your American dollars. So going to Europe on vacation is very inexpensive. American goods, or goods imported from Asia, are very inexpensive at the present time. But if you want to export to these countries, then the opposite is true. Now American goods are very expensive in world markets. And as a consequence, we can anticipate that a lot of consumers in these countries will reduce their American purchases. We'll probably have fewer people coming to visit the United States next summer because it will be too expensive.
Okay, so those are on the losers.
It depends on where you are. If you're a consumer, it's basically good news. But if you're a person that works in an industry that depends on exports or on tourism, it's kind of bad news.
But is it not good news on the other side when it comes down to companies themselves, businesses themselves?
I'm having trouble hearing you. Maybe a little louder.
We talked about losers a little bit, so let's talk about the winners side of things. Is it not fair to say that while the consumers may get a little hit in the wallet down the road, that a strong dollar is good for the companies that are here, American-based companies?
Well, in principle, yes, but an awful lot of American companies are now producing things abroad. They have big foreign operations, and when they bring those profits back to the United States, now it's not worth as much. They earn the profit in a foreign currency, and when they convert it back to dollars, they don't get as many dollars as they used to. So you see some of the effect of that, say, in price and stock market indexes that reflect a lot of companies that are selling a lot abroad. You're seeing their profits going down. So it's not such good news for them either. It is good news for foreign companies that want to operate in the United States and they take their money back home. That makes it look like it's very profitable to operate here in the United States.
I got about 30, 40 seconds left here. In the Washington Post recently, there was a headline that said the strong dollar is the biggest threat to the economic recovery. Would you agree with that?
I think at the present time that's right. Because the biggest concern is that if the dollar stays at high value and other countries start to move away from our goods, then our exports will fall, and then we will not get the strong GDP growth that we were anticipating. When you combine that with the fact that the rest of the world, the economies aren't very strong to begin with, and so with low income, they're not going to buy very many American products. I think we have to worry about our ability to export to the rest of the world over the next couple of years.
And don't forget, folks, monetary policy is only going to get tighter. It's not going to get any looser right here in the United States for the foreseeable future. Barry Bosworth, thanks so much for bringing us a little bit of the insight on this. We'll all watch where our money goes from here on out.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now that you understand better the value of a dollar, I think I understand the value of a dollar. At least we better at this point in life, right? Let us help you better understand the value of marking certain people in life with a tag. Sometimes these people deserve to have it. And why? Because we need to be careful of who they are and where they are. The tag, a resident of Outland. Next on MidPoint.